Now we're live.
Lime vibe, come let me lime, come let me vibe. Lime vibe, come let me lime, come let me vibe. Lime vibe, lime vibe.
Good night, everybody, and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, the illustrious one, Yari Arman Kemp, here in Nassau, Bahamas, the hot Nassau, Bahamas, along with my beautiful co-host, Miss Kimberly Ram-Calawan from Trinidad and Tobago, the land of oil. How are you doing tonight, Kim?
Land of oil. Good night, Yari.
Yes.
I don't see so much of land of oil anymore.
Oh, wow.
It's full of wind right now.
Oh, wind and rain, wind and flood, right?
Wind, yeah, and floods. And we actually, oil. Talking about oil, yes, we actually do have an oil spill ongoing in parts
Really?
of the country that experienced flood earlier this
Wow. Okay. How do people bury it? I saw a video today where some beetles popped out in one of your rural towns, wasn't it, right?
What's that? Some
There was
beetles?
heavy flooding in one of your rural towns, and some beetles popped up out of nowhere.
So apart from the beetles, there's actually a lot of caimans and snakes.
Oh, wow.
Of the snakes and scorpions coming up. So
Wow.
the flood waters would have driven them out of their natural habitats and entering into people's homes and things like that. I think for shelter as well.
That has to be scary. I can't take creepy crawlies, man. I can take the animals, but not the creepy crawls like the beetles and the scorpions, man.
Can't take the snakes because we have a good bit of large snakes here in Trinidad. They might seem kind of harmless, but no.
Okay. Over here, I mean, in Nassau, it's being pretty hot. I mean, it's steaming hot, man. I think it was 88 degrees today from the weather reports.
Wow.
It could get hotter than that, actually. So, but it was, if it gets any hotter than that, I don't know, Kim, I may have to move.
Can't you just love the air conditioning unit, put it on a turbo setting, lowered temperatures? I'm not sure if that would help.
I know the air conditioning sounds tempting right until you get the electricity bill. Then you say, oh, wow, I shouldn't be using the air condition, right? Because they went up on electricity rates here last year. The prime minister said he was going up on electricity rates, and we're going to have cascading electricity rates up until 2024. So every 3 months, they're going to go up by 10%. And so he's trying to kill us, man.
That's crazy. That's punishment, especially when with all that heat.
Of course, it's punishment. So you got to coming and going, man. So you got to be careful how you use your energy over here, Kim. They're killing us.
Right now, I know that the Atlantic is active because weather systems, they're actually monitoring a system off the coast of Africa. And it has like about 30% chance of developing into a storm, and it might head northward. So you'll have to keep an eye on that for the next few days as to what's going to happen with it.
Oh, storm developing? Okay, I'll look into that.
The season is the first one to form. No, it's not the first one, it's probably the second one, because they had Arlene up in the Gulf Coast of Texas earlier.
That wasn't really our storm, that was the Pacific storm. That wasn't our storm,
That wasn't our storm. It was
no.
not Atlantic so much. But this had a probability of heading south. So it piqued our interest and caused us to keep an eye out, at least for Hispaniola, Cuba.
Yeah. That sounds good. Otherwise, now what's happening in the news, Kim? What's going on? Did you hear about Holness, Prime Minister Holness in Jamaica, saying that he's responding to concerns from the community that Jamaica's about to go cashless? And he said, no, he's never heard such stupidness in his life. Say Jamaica just invested in billions of dollars. He said, quote unquote, billions of dollars worth of banknotes. There's no chance of Jamaica going cashless in the future. And I say, smart man, Holness, smart man, Mr. Holness, very smart man. You don't want to go cashless. It's absolutely uncomfortable. I can imagine that a lot of the people in Jamaica are on the informal economy, and how the economy really hasn't picked up as yet. So you can imagine, because here they're trying to go cashless, and trust me, it's painful, man. It's painful. It's painful to walk into a bank that would not accept cash, and you cannot get cash from.
Now, I mean, I look at the interest of digital currencies being established by central banks across the Caribbean. Jamaica of particular interest because most of their economy is dependent on remittances.
Yes.
And it would be useful for them to go, there is a way for them to go cashless for remittances. It would ease up on the fees that people usually have to pay to receive the funds. And I'm looking at it in that sense. If people were to go for it in that way, it would reduce the fees if you put in place that sort of digital framework that includes transfer of funds.
No
That
doubt,
just
benefit.
my 2 cents there.
Yeah, no doubt there's some benefit, but trust me, it's going to be painful. It's going to be annoying, and I think there's a way that you could have both simultaneously. You're gonna have both while you try to phase out cash, but saying that you're just going to drop cash altogether and just go straight to the digital currency is absolutely insane, man. We're trying that now, and you're finding out now that you just can't drop cash like that from an economy, and they should know better than that. They should know better than that. Holness is doing right, because I'm telling you, man, my tart man does not take digital currency. He does not take the sand dollar, Kim. My coconut tart man does not take sand dollars.
But the thing is, that currency is something that was established by your central bank. So it is just it's just a form of money. It's just representing money. There is transfer of cash happening.
I know. I believe in it. I believe in digital currency. I believe in it. I wish my tart man would take digital currency, but because many of them decide not to, we can't just pull it out of the system like that.
Yeah, I understand. And there's a good bit of reservations across a lot of countries. And kudos to the Bahamas for setting up the sand dollar. I think you all were like the first in the world, right?
Yeah, I think the Eastern Caribbean states, they came about 2 months after us. We were the first in the world. Yep.
ECB has it as well.
Yeah.
The entire world has to go that way, I know. But you see a lot of countries still.
Hold on. There's a difference between going cashless and having digital currency. Now they sound the same, but they're not exactly the same. Yeah. You have some of these banks that aren't accepting cash anymore. You have to use the ATMs, and you have to actually do things electronically. That's different from the sand dollar. The sand dollar is perfect, actually. I don't mind the sand dollar. I love the sand dollar, actually. But going cashless is something totally different. It sounds the same, but it's not exactly the same. You know? And that going cashless is what's killing me, you know. You can imagine now you have a check for $10,000. You walk into the bank and you can't cash the check.
No, you can't. Right. Understood.
No?
A lot of people are complaining about it. I heard something like that similar in the Eastern Caribbean states. They were talking about it as well. It's not that strict, but it is happening there as well.
Yeah. These bankers are psychopaths, man. Anything that people just uproot their lives and drop of a hat. We can't just do that. These central bankers are absolutely psychopathic, man. They only think about their objectives. They only think about their objectives and what they have to do. They don't think about everybody else, you know. And that's what some of these bureaucrats and these high up executives are, you know. They don't think about everybody else. They only think about their objectives, you know, how I'm going to implement this cashless society. They don't think about us. They don't think about the tart man. Yeah, I think about the tart man because I like my tart man, but they don't think about the tart man. You know, they don't think about the fruit vendor on the side of the road. They don't think about them.
In Trinidad, I've actually seen food carts and people. They have Republic Bank here in Trinidad has set up something called Encash. So what you do, you actually scan your code and you pay it.
Yeah.
Right, and that's one way of making payments digitally.
You want to hear something, Kim? They had this in Africa years ago. You know, I remember watching a BBC Africa Insight I would say about 7 years ago, and people in Africa, Chad of all places, were actually using their cell phones to pay for stuff, and with the vendors on the side of the road. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. You know, this was like years ago.
And so, this like phone credits or anything, right? This is actual cash being transferred.
Yeah, cash being transferred between one to the other. Yep.
Wow. So it's about time that we actually come on board. I've always said this, that as a female, I don't like moving around with cash. I often pay with my cards. And it's easier for me to do that.
It's getting in, Rob.
You know? So I keep like less than 100 TT dollars in cash on me. So if I have to pay for anything, it's often with a swipe of my card.
So you're not a sweet lick, Kim. You're not a sweet lick. You're not a sweet lick. They run up on you and they take all your cash and your jewelry. They're not gonna get nothing when they run up on you, right, Kim?
No, it's just, I mean, the thing is they're taking everything, whatever you got. They don't care.
Hmm.
I have my phone, my jewelry, well, costume jewelry. This
Mm.
isn't anything real. I don't wear real gold, my wedding rings and things like that. I don't really wear that
Mm.
often in public unless I'm going somewhere fancy.
Okay, okay. Speaking of chains and jewelry, I saw the most gorgeous diamond cut gold chain the other day. I wanted, I put it on reserve inside the jewelry store. I don't have not a dime to buy it, but Kim, it's gorgeous, Kim. You should see it sparkling. When I saw it compared to the other chain, compared to the regular gold chains, that diamond cut chain was absolutely beautiful, man. It just glistens at you, it just shines in the light. And it's beautiful. I don't have a dime to pay for, but I want. I tell them to put on the side like I'm coming back for another coming back for that chain. I don't have no money for that.
There's a saying here in Trinidad, you don't hang your hat where your hand can't reach.
I know, right? I know. But there's nothing wrong with looking, nothing wrong with looking. Maybe I was in the wrong store. Maybe if I should walk down to, because I was in the mall at Marathon when I saw this chain. And I don't think the mall at Marathon is duty free. But if I could go downtown to the jewelry stores downtown and find a chain downtown, maybe get a better price, because the downtown is duty free. So I'll look into the downtown jewelry stores. There's a bunch of them downtown. I try to find the exact same chain, But I want that chain so bad, Kim. I want it so badly.
You should have taken a photo of it so you could probably get it replicated at another jewelry store.
Yeah. If I go back to those girls inside Crown Jewelers, they'll run me out the store because they know I'm only playing. You only window shopping. You broke. You got no money. And it was so funny the day when I went and I looked at it, I saw these two scruffy looking guys, and you could tell they were like drug dealers, right? You could tell they were like, like street thugs. And they were buying gold. I say, you buying gold? I'm buying gold too. I'm buying gold too, I'm showing off like I'm a drug dealer, Yeah.
That's a funny thing about going into a jewelry store. The characters you actually see, and they're the ones buying the biggest diamonds and the
Oh
biggest
yeah.
chains. I noticed that when my husband and I, when we were shopping for a wedding ring some years ago,
Mhm.
I went to the jewelry store and I saw the kind of characters coming and the kind of jewelry they buy. Like,
Mhm.
how is it you're looking like this and you're buying that,
Yep. They're drug dealers, Kim. They're criminals.
on it, and
Unless you
and
really love somebody or you're getting married or some kind of anniversary, you shouldn't, regular people shouldn't be inside a jewelry store because that's what they're for, right? You just
right.
don't walk in the jewelry store, you're looking all scruffy and getting jewelry, man. Come on. That's a red flag right there.
I would
Red
think.
flag.
Here in Trinidad, you have to give your ID and certain personal information when you're purchasing jewelry, though.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
They usually take your address and things like that in case it was stolen.
Hmm.
And even especially if you paid a down payment, they can contact you.
Oh yeah, I could see the down payment, yeah, but not if you actually buy cash and you walk out. Why would you want my information?
It's actually part of all legal system regulation for anyone selling those kinds of jewels and precious metals.
Hmm.
They actually have to put that in for their accountability and declarations with the police and the law.
Okay. I guess it's just another way for the police and the government to actually track people, isn't it, right?
I'm not sure how much that actually works because it's been done that way to me all these years that we've been purchasing jewelry all my entire life. I remember when my parents go to buy jewelry, that's one thing they usually ask for. So it's part of our legal framework, as in just monitoring precious metals and gold and things like that, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it starts off, right? They only monitoring the people who got the money, that's all. Yeah, that's Big Brother watching you, Kim. That's Big Brother watching you,
I'm not sure. I mean, if we were to look in the filing system, it's not that it's probably some old papers stored away in some filing cabinet somewhere.
Some old law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but Andrew Holness says, no, that cashless foolishness, man. Not right now. Not right now, not right now.
The outsource to Latin America and the Caribbean conference that was taking place in his island in
Yeah.
Jamaica this week, right?
Yeah, yep. We covered that in Caribbean Magazine Plus as well. Yep. He was touting Jamaica being the outsourced capital of the Caribbean,
Yes, I know that. It's been one of those countries that a lot of companies look to when it comes to nearshoring and establishing the BPOs and the KPUs.
Yeah, yeah. But essentially they've watered Jamaica down to just like a call center, you know. And I find it amazing. So they really taken outsourcing and they've really just watered down to a call center because they can't do anything else. I mean, they're not a big tech hub. They're not technologically savvy. You know, they don't do anything else other than just, you know, answer phone calls and take calls. I mean, what?
Other than that, I've been hearing that because they've become that call center hub, they've now become that prime target for harassing people in the sense of you know, soliciting money, like how the Nigerian prince
Yeah, the Nigerian scams. Yeah, yeah. It's
And so
amazing how they've been getting away with that for years, right?
I've been hearing that happening a lot lately, and that's because of what they've done with their telecommunications sector in Jamaica. But keep looking also to establish something with the video games and moving Jamaica up the value chain because of all these things. And honestly, if there's one way of in providing jobs for your people, I say okay, sure, go on ahead. Trinidad and Tobago is following, not too far behind. A lot of the similar corporations that have established in Jamaica have recently come and set up headquarters here as well in Trinidad. And it is a source of employment, especially to the young people that are now coming to university and college. So they have a startup and it offers them the opportunity to even work from home.
Yeah, I've seen it. I can imagine that. That's a good way to start your life, man. But speaking about Nigerian princes and scams, did you read this latest report? That Nigeria falls below in the largest erect penis size in the world, apparently. Yeah. It just came across my Facebook today. And you would believe who's number one? Who's number one on the list? Guess who's number one on the list? Ecuador. So apparently the men in Ecuador are packing.
I just meant, I'm sorry I mentioned the word Nigeria.
No, it's funny you mentioned Nigeria because it just came across my WhatsApp. I was like so concerned about it. It's like, wow, all of these places. There's not a Caribbean place on the list either. It starts from Ecuador, then Cameroon, then Bolivia, then the Sudan, then Haiti. Haiti's number 5.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Haiti's number 5, but about let's say 16.01 centimeters. I'm not sure what that is in inches, but I'd say it's about 7 inches, man. Yeah, it goes down to Senegal and Gambia and Cuba. Cuba's number 7. The Netherlands, Zambia, France, Angola. There's no Jamaicans here either. Paraguay, Chad. No, it just came across my list today. I was just like, wow, it's such an interesting statistic, you know.
Switching over to something else that is probably
Yeah, let's talk about what's me and Motley up to. That's your homegirl. What's me and Motley up to, man?
Right now she's in Geneva meeting with the World Trade Organization and talking about how to improve the lives of people in Barbados through all fishing. I think she was talking, she mentioned something about the fishing sector, fisheries subsidies and trade and health, climate change. Things that were actually affecting her fishing sector. So it was closed door meetings, but they kind of gave a hinted. This meeting comes ahead, I think, earlier in this year or a latter part of last year. She was one of their key speakers at their presidential forum, I think.
Okay.
And, you know, she is actually getting the attention around the world. She is putting forward that Bridgetown initiative, you know, all around the world, wherever she can. To assist. She says these things go beyond the whole multilaterals and goes beyond development. And but she was actually part of their presidential lecture series sometime last year.
Okay, is she making any headway with this?
What's that?
Is she making any headway with this? Are large multilaterals actually listening to her?
I believe so, that it is getting attention around the world. You know, she's pushing for, you know, smaller island developing states to have access to a fairer economy. that we are able to have that chance of building a resilient economy and a future, with despite all that has been against us for eons since colonial rule left us, lessened, and
So what has happened?
is championing that.
So
So
what's happened?
I think this meeting was just for them to get an audience with regard
Okay.
to their issues,
Okay.
and for the Bridgetown initiative as well to, before she's presenting the Bridgetown initiative. If you look at it, she's doing this at a lot of the major organizations around the world, and the World Trade organizations happens to be the latest.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So she's on the speaking tour. She's on the circuit. She's promoting it. The promotional tour, I should say.
In this sense, it will, when it comes to voting policies, and when it comes to them having to vote for the change, I think that is where she's laid the foundation and put it forward. She's made it clear, given them an understanding of what it means for SIDS to have access to special drawing rights. And at these multilateral agencies like the World Bank and the IMF. And it also comes at low interest rates and things like that. She said she's putting forward these things right now. So I'm guessing that when the time comes for the votes to come in, she would have, gotten that support. She would have rallied some support because they would have had that audience with her and gotten that understanding of what she's really lobbying for.
That's good.
And what we needed for the countries like ours in the region and around the world.
So let's give Ms. Mia Morthy our full support. Let's hope that the larger multilaterals start to listen to her intently and actually start to make some improvements and actually start to change a few things. That would be the big testing time, because it doesn't make any sense going these speaking tours and nothing's really happening,
So that's what I'm seeing. I know that I think 2 years ago, UNCTAD had a meeting here, in Barbados. So she also had a meeting with UNCTAD while she's there. They're expected to host a global supply chain forum sometime next year in May.
Good.
And that is also to help provide development, promote development through sustainable and resilient transport logistics, improve connectivity and trade facilitation. So all of these things she's putting forward, to help build supply chains with her country, that all of that builds your economy. All of that creates business opportunities, a platform for expansion, and solutions to your economic growth and all of that.
Okay, that's fair enough. So 3 cheers for Mia Morthy, yay!
Yeah, she's having these meetings all around, so we're seeing that she's busy. She has been.
Yeah, boys. I mean, busy since Kamala. Since Kamala Harris visited the Caribbean just recently, they've been very busy.
Yeah, I think all our leaders are across. Well, CARICOM 50th meeting is coming up. Trinidad and Tobago actually hijacked the hosting of the meeting from Dominica.
So they hijacked.
Yeah, they hijacked it. So we're hosting it in July 3rd to the 5th in Port Spain. So we're gearing up for that. All leaders will be coming here to talk about it. Okay. I heard that Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, he said that they have declared July 4th the official holiday because of it's CARICOM's 50th anniversary.
Okay.
So
that's U.S. independence, man.
July 4th, but yeah, so they usually have their fireworks on that day. People would think that it's celebrating America's independence, but it's CARICOM Day here in the region on July 4th.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Good to celebrate. So Deacon Mitchell, he's having his own celebration on July 4th. That's nice, man. So what else has been happening, Kim? What else has been going on? Well, what has Rob Gonzalez been up to recently? He's been kind of quiet.
I can't say.
Yeah, I haven't heard a peep from him. The last time I saw him was online. I saw anything about St. Vincent de Grenadines online when the opposition leader, I think it was Dr. Godwin Friday, he was dancing some merengue, basically clowning, right? I thought elections was going to come up sometime soon, but they just had elections recently. So it wasn't an election, so I guess these guys just take time with the clown when they want to clown, you know? So otherwise than that, yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
latest that he said that he's also he's added his 2 cents to the whole issue with Haiti. And he says if anyone wants to deliver humanitarian assistance to Haiti, they have to come to terms with the gangs. And that's a known fact, I think. If you
Mhm.
want to enter into that country to assist, you have to deal with the gangs. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had, I think, a CELAC interview recently.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Let's switch to the Central America. We don't talk about Central America enough, you know. There's a whole Caribbean country in Central America, man, Belize. And we don't say anything about it. They say people about Belize. But there's some other countries in Central America as well. You know, the Panama Canal is apparently drying up.
Yes, I know we've spoken about that a bit.
Yeah, and apparently this an El Nino can make it worse. So they're preparing for an El Nino. This is reported in CNN today. No, 3 days ago, actually, saying unprecedented drought is affecting the Panama Canal's water supply and leaving authorities to impose surcharges and weight limits on ships traversing the key global trade route, according to the Panama Canal Authority. Ships, where they go, start with blah, 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 blah. Lake levels are forecasted to hit historic lows in July, prompting authorities to implement water-saving measures as well as imposing strict draft restrictions, which is the distance between the waterline and the lowest point of the hull in the last few months. The lake's dwindling water also supplies the nearby region, including Panama City. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Say much of Central America. Oh, much of Central America, including Panama, is being in a significant drought in the last several months. But the start of El Nino could worsen conditions, the Panama Canal Authority also warned. El Nino, a natural phenomenon in the tropical Pacific Ocean, typically brings warmer than average temperatures. This year, El Nino is oh, I lost the page. Oh, shoots. This year, El Nino is expected to increase global temperatures and could push 2023 or 2024 to be the warmest year on record. Wow. So El Nino is really threatening the Panama Canal, even more so. So all that trade that goes through the Panama Canal would be at risk, man, especially for the Western Hemisphere, you know, because North America, well, all of us depend on the Panama Canal to some extent, you know, especially with Chicago coming from China and Asia, coming towards the West. They don't go around to the Europe end, they don't go around to the Africa end, they go straight eastward and they travel through the Panama Canal to get here. And so does a lot of ships from the United States and Argentina. They travel through the Panama Canal heading to the Pacific Ocean. So that's a serious thing, Kim. You have to watch this, you know, that drought in the Panama Canal.
Right. So
Yeah.
I know we were talking about the whole World Trade Organization and they implemented the fishery subsidies, but apparently Belize is part of that. They have to also sign on to that whole fisheries agreement. The fisheries subsidy is something that looks for ocean sustainability and prohibiting harmful fishery subsidies, which will often lead to the depletion of fish stocks. So Belize was also part and parcel with that meeting with Prime Minister Motley. So these two have accepted the agreement on fishery subsidy, and I think that's why they were talking on that.
Okay, that's cool.
Apart from that, I heard that Belize is also building a $220 million US bridge to Guatemala.
Ah, yes.
So they started up that, and so I guess that is to assist with also trade and transport between the two countries.
That's good. And hopefully they leave that border skirmish, that border argument alone, and they actually build ties towards one another. Because remember they had like a border disagreement that they wanted to go to international arbitration over?
Yeah.
The border between Guatemala and Belize, and Guatemala said that Belize has some of their land, and Belize says, no, get out of here. We don't want we don't have none of your land. Yeah.
It's an entrance and exit into Guatemala, apparently. And construction is set to start in about 15 days.
That's good.
Connect several zones of the capital and assist with the city's road network and transit.
Good. Because there are a lot of people living on that border, right? Sorry, Kim, go ahead.
Expected to be completed by 2026, though. They're hopeful that it's expected to be completed by then.
Yes, because we were in the pandemic to really slow things down again, right? Yeah. Yeah, because God knows what can happen. But let's go back to regularly scheduled program in the world, all right? Let's don't think about pandemics. Let's not think about natural disasters. Let's just try to get our projects and let's plan out and let God do what he has to do and let us do what we have to do, all right? So yeah, if they say 2026, let's hope they get done by 2026 because there's so much, between those two countries, even though one side speaks Spanish and one side speaks English, there's a lot of people that live around the border right there. And there are a lot of people that go back and forth between Belize and Guatemala, and they share a lot. They share a lot, man. But speaking of Guatemala, though, did you see what this Jose Zamora, this journalist who was the founder of the Periodico newspaper in Guatemala, he was jailed for 6 years in Guatemala.
Yes, I saw that.
Apparently they charged him for accepting bribes in his own newspaper. He was charged and convicted of accepting bribes in his own newspaper. My goodness, he didn't accept any bribe. He's not a public official. So I could see why opponents were actually upset that, President Alejandro Giammattei, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Giammattei, was out for this Jose Zamora, this founder of the El Periodico newspaper,
They're saying that it was an exchange for not publishing some damaging information about a particular business, right?
Mhm.
So, but the government wanted them to be free, and because of this, his newspaper will now come to cease after what
Yes.
they existence, I believe.
Yeah, but apparently it stopped publishing in May, apparently. And so he's being hemmed up, more or less. But I think it's an attack on journalism, because you can't tell a private newspaper what they should publish, what they should not publish. The government shouldn't get involved in that, And I guess opponents are now really upset that this is a clampdown on journalism. This is clampdown on freedom of speech and freedom of movement. You have the freedom to say what you want and to not say what you don't want. All right. So you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And that's what people don't understand about free speech, Kim. I can say it, but I don't have to say it if I don't want to. That's the thing. That's the freedom. And so, people like his son were saying that these charges were just trumped up. First of all, they started these charges up in a civil matter. They brought up in a civil case. Then all of a sudden it escalated to a criminal case. How can it be a criminal case in my own public company? I decide not to publish something if I don't want to. It's none of your business.
And I think under some criminal persecution since last year, because last year he was charged with money laundering and blackmail and peddling, but he was only found guilty of one. So it's that they've had it out for him for quite some time.
Yeah, because he's very critical of the GMT government. Yeah, as a newspaper should, they should be critical. You shouldn't have to be fair. Journalists should not be in fear of publishing anything in their newspapers or their periodicals. They should not be afraid of saying anything. Especially us here on LimeVibe. We shouldn't be afraid of saying anything about anybody, man, because without this kind of criticism, a free and open society cannot flourish. It cannot flourish, And so we stand with Jose Zamora and his family. We hope that the charges are lifted and that someone intervenes and they free Jose Zamora. That's going to be on the running charge right now. Protecting freedom of speech and journalism in the Caribbean and the Central American region, Kim. We have the free Jose Zamora. We need the freedom to say what we want. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, without that, we're nothing. Because what would it be if he can't really criticize? What would it be if we can't criticize the government, Kim? Or we can't criticize somebody? Why would we be running fair? Running in fair, Anyway, let's hope that his family, finds straight and finds better lawyers. But apparently now he's already being locked up. He's serving his time now. I saw him behind prison bars. And it's really hit international news, because he's the founder of this El Periodico newspaper in Guatemala. So he's a pretty big publisher, And
he should be getting that support from international media houses, media organizations that really stand for free speech.
Yes. Especially the United States, and Canada.
Did you hear that a former Google executive won the bid for the Alpha Nero in Antigua?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, Eric Schmidt. I saw it today, actually. Yeah. He won the bid for the Alpha Nero. Yeah, it's good for him, man. He has the money for it.
So Antigua is getting that 81 million?
Yep. They probably need it too. Gaston Brown needs it as well. So
yeah, they actually published it that the purchase has gone through.
Mhm.
It's finally off and the end.
Yeah, Eric Smith. Yeah, I saw it today. That's good, man. But that ship has been nothing but trouble for Antigua since they actually got it in their possession, because no one could find a real owner, and everyone was thinking that was a Russian oligarch or was a Russian mafia boss, but the real owner never really showed up. And who knows, he could be dead in Ukraine right now. you know?
Oh, probably South American or Central American country.
Yeah, yeah. Could be, you know. And they just took the ship and they sold it. What if the real owner pops up though? What would that be though? You think anything will happen if the real owner pops up one day?
I don't know. I mean, if you've left it there for so long, you have to adhere to the country's laws and rules, right?
Mhm.
And it said that, hey, this piece of property was here for some time and it was obstructing, movement or something like that. They are all right to get rid of it, dispose of it.
I agree, Kim. I agree. It's been a while, man. But who would just leave a luxury yacht just sitting there, though? I mean, wow, that isn't that the biggest story? Like who would leave an $81 million yacht just sitting there by itself? No one else popped up. Like he did. Like if even the person died, right? Like none of his family members popped up. His brother, his sister, his wife, or I'm saying it was he. What if it was a she? None of her family members popped up. That's just amazing, Kim. Who would leave an $81 million gift just sitting in the harbor in an offbeat Caribbean country? That's just so stunning.
Yeah. I'm also seeing that Dominica had some talks about electoral reform and a report was finally submitted.
Good. Because what's his name?
Roosevelt
Yeah,
Scarrett.
Scared. Yeah, Prime Minister Scared. He's been promising that actually, but after the last election, he promised that. I'm glad he followed through with that. He said constitutional reform and electoral reform must happen in Dominica. I'm glad he followed through with that because his opponents were really, really ticked off that the last election wasn't really fair and free. And so, he decided that he's going to go through electoral reform. You remember the situation they had the last election, Kim? That yeah, the ballots were not the ballots, the register wasn't really safe and all that kind of stuff. And man, that was a lousy opposition, I swear. And that's a lousy opposition. I can see why Roosevelt Scared won so many times in Dominica, So they can cry and they can complain as much as they want, but Roosevelt probably is the best thing they probably had since Eugenia Charles. That's being very truthful and honest, Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the report entails, but I know it was submitted. But it
Mm,
was prepared by one sole commissioner. I think
yeah.
he's CJ. That's Dennis Byron.
There's Dennis Byron. Yep. He was hot news during the election. He was the man of focus. They focused more on Dennis Byron than they actually focused on the damn election. Yeah. And
And
the opposition was going to boycott the election. They were stupid, weren't they?
yeah,
Yeah, that was stupid. Why would you boycott the election? Don't be dumb.
we give it away that way, right?
Exactly right. Then you really have no say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Dominica's problems, man. They're gonna be. But I like to read that report though, because I guess we probably could glean a lot from that from the rest of the other Caribbean countries. Exactly how they're going to set things up in Dominica moving forward. But
It would be interesting to see that. I mean, here a lot of islands have been calling for that kind of constitutional reform.
yeah,
I know Barbados is currently undergoing some consultations with their people, right?
but yeah. That's
So
why
that
a lot of people didn't want Barbados to go independent before they actually had these conversations, these reforms, because they knew it was going to drag on afterwards, and it was going to leave the country open up to a lot of uncertainty after the country went independent from Britain. And so these conversations need to be had in Barbados, and I hope that they could actually continue to have these conversations in Barbados, because I trust no leader. I don't care if Mia Mottley was 100 times a woman, and she's the sweetest thing ever. Yeah, you just can't trust these kinds of things in one person. The country must need checks and balances and things that keep dictators at bay, or else you're going to have one. Because most leaders, when they come to power, they're megalomaniacs and they're narcissists. And it only takes one thing to really set them off to the off beaten path, where they turn absolutely demonic, right? And they turn into these absolute beasts. Because take for example, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler started off as a sweet guy, and he started off as someone who was uniting Germany. And he just turned into something else as he progressed, because he just kept on and having more power. He just kept on increasing his power, solidifying his base and entrenching his power. And all of a sudden he turned into what he was. But yeah, so that's why these countries need to have checks and balances. No country should be left open, or no system should be left open for interpretation. Everyone must have a check and balance in place. And so that was one of the issues why they were against, Barbados really going independent before these things that really happened. But I'm glad that it's actually happening now. There's so people Barbados is actually making it happen. So that's good.
I mean, Trinidad has been calling for constitutional reform from ever since our president, Sir Ellis Clark. He had put forward an entire writing as to how we ought to reform our constitution and things like that. And the talk of it came up back in 2007, 2006, under Prime Minister Manning's tenure, and as well as during Kamala's tenure, where we're actually calling for reform as to the way we handle our elections. And how we were to manage or interpret the poll, the electorate actually, whether it be popular vote and then take into consideration the popular vote, take into consideration the separation of your members of parliament from your ministerial cabinet. And all of that was up for debate back in 2014 as well. But it did not happen. It would have been interesting to see a change. And it really shows that we are owning ourselves as Caribbean nations.
Yes. Taking responsibility for it. That's right.
And we're no longer still dependent on what was given to us.
Yes.
I mean, even though our parliament is very much active, we have sessions almost every week when it comes to changing legislation and enacting laws that help govern and rule our country. It needed to make it really our own when it comes to rulership. There is some things that we really do need to move away from. Some parts of the Westminster system, they call it, right?
Yep.
So,
and a lot of these things you wouldn't really realize they're a problem until you're actually involved in it, that you're actually going through it. Yeah, and you realize, oh, that's what that rule is supposed to be for. Oh, that's why that law is in place. Yeah, and it shocks you, right?
and also, it gives way to a lot of red tape. If you really were to analyze all laws and stuff, it goes through so much statutory boards. It goes through the president.
And those are constitutionally mandated.
Exactly. It has to be passed at the Joint Select Committee, and things like this have to go through. I guess, honestly, I see the Joint Select Committees and these committees actually providing some sort of transparency and for a lesser, more casual level for trashing out issues that need to be aired out when it comes to formulating policies and legislation. Especially when it comes to the technocrats that will be using these laws at ministries and the agencies levels. It's kind of good, but I think we need to fine-tune it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with fine-tuning things as you move forward, nothing wrong with tweaking a few things. And I think that's where we fall down a lot. I'm glad we're getting out of this mentality, because not everything the British gave us was actually pure and gold, Not everything they gave us was supposed to be set in stone for the rest of our lives. Some of these things were meant to change. Some of these things were meant to evolve with us as we started to grow and we started to get larger and we started to get bigger. And so with that being said, let's push forward these reforms, man. Let's hope Dominica really takes that report from Dennis Byers seriously and actually makes the kind of reforms that he would recommend, or at least take it into consideration if it's reasonable, Because he's a learned man from what I understand. He has a lot of respect in Dominica from what I understand. And in the Eastern Caribbean at that, he's a very well-respected man. So yeah, let's give him the kind of support that he wants, that he's calling for. Yeah, let's take it into consideration.
Sure. I'm seeing that also Grenada is looking to move their pension age to 65. Now, something similar to what's happening in Trinidad. Trinidad is actually looking to move its retirement age to 65 as well. It's going to come to reality soon, I believe. So once you're like 55, the likelihood of you actually working to 65 has increased, and that happen. It's because of the whole national insurance, and so Grenada has plans to do that because of the similar situation with their national insurance. That their if government doesn't do certain changes, the NIS will come crumbling in Grenada. And it's a similar situation in Trinidad.
Yeah,
But-
some situation in the Bahamas as well. Same thing.
But I think it's so unfair that you're forcing people to work to
Mm.
65. A lot of people have actually worked from the time they've come out of school, which is school leaving age at least age 16.
Mhm.
Right? Some people have actually been working before that, but I know a lot of young people that have worked from the time they've finished CXC writing high school
Mhm.
and then forcing them to work all the way to 65 before you can access your pension that you have so long worked hard for and contributed, through your salary.
But the thing is, Kim, they can't afford everybody. That's just the long and short of it. They can't afford everybody.
You look at all-
Everyone's
to me, I'm asking you, where did the money go?
goes to all those people who are still on pensions right now.
I don't think we have that. They're saying that our aging populations are increasing. I can't say that. I can't agree to that. To me, average age person lives to 70, 75, between 75 and 75.
Mm.
And they would have contributed enough to, get their pensions, right?
Mm.
Now you're going
Yeah.
to force people to work to that age.
Mm.
Saying that the labor force has been on a decline since 2004, at least here in Trinidad, right?
Mhm.
The labor force has moved. It has declined from 63.4% to 54%. That's almost half the population working. Or is it because we've had so many people opening businesses, they're not paying their
Self-employed. Yeah, a lot of self-employed people. Yep, that too. That too. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, people that's living longer, we just can't afford them anymore, Kim. There's more people in the system. And so it just can't afford them. I just hope I can get my pension when I turn 60, 65, because the way our national insurance system is working, I may not get it. I may not get it, Kim. That's scary. I may not get it if I get 60, 65.
You look at our populations in the Caribbean, it's so inundated with, most of our people are suffering from non-communicable diseases.
Yeah.
That's hypertension and diabetes mostly, right?
Yeah.
This has actually cut our life expectancy, to a great degree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know a lot of people that have retired, and by the time, something has happened. And it's sad. It's because of, all lifestyle diseases, how we eat.
Yeah. Yep. So I always thought Trinidadians were kind of healthy eaters, man. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, it is wrong. We have
Wow.
population. I mean, look at our diet. We eat a lot of doubles and roti, right?
But doubles are pretty healthy though, compared to chicken snacks over here.
It's fried. It's still fried. The bar is fried. It's still oil. KFC here in Trinidad.
You like
Right.
KFC over there?
Kentucky Fried Chicken is a big,
Really?
and then we stew a lot of our meats. That's burnt sugar. It's burnt sugar. When we're making our pilau, it's a burnt sugar. You're putting your meats in.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's heavy. But I found something so funny, Kim. KFC is big in Trinidad, but you can't find a KFC anywhere inside Barbados. There's only Chefette, right? The Chefette. Yeah. And that chicken is salty as hell.
I mean, in Trinidad, KFC is king. No, everyone that comes to Trinidad, the first place they want to go to is KFC and a doubles vent.
Really? When you're back home. Wow. All of that, really. You get KFC almost anywhere in the Caribbean, in Miami or South Florida. So
Is home to that KFC outlet that makes the most profit in the entire world. And it's located at Independence Square in Port of Spain.
so they make jokes about it. Wow.
It's a true thing. When you look at KFC statistics, look at the top earning outlet, and it's found in Trinidad, Independence Square.
I'll research that, Kim. I thought you were joking when you said that. I'll research that.
It's open 24 hours a day.
Really? A 24-hour KFC. What do you guys serve for breakfast over there?
KFC is KFC. You can walk in and you can get fries, chicken, biscuit. Well,
Early in the morning?
Yeah, at least in Port of Spain.
Wow. Wow, that's strange. I don't even think that the KFCs in South Florida open on 24 hours, man. So you guys really take your KFC serious.
Port of Spain actually, and because of that, a lot of food outlets in Port of Spain open 24 hours.
Okay. But they have a breakfast menu on top of that though, right? Like, no, just go
It's
straight to the lunch.
KFC, your coleslaw, your mashed potatoes, but
Wow.
the thing here is a spicy chicken, fries, and a biscuit.
That's a big ticket over there. That's a big meal. Spicy chicken. Oh my goodness. Kim, you're talking all your compatriot secrets, your unhealthy secrets. I know I know here in the Bahamas, they tried having KFC serve breakfast in the morning, but they were serving chicken sauce though. Chicken sauce and the biscuits. Yeah. Yeah. Sauce. Yeah. KFC serving sauce, right?
Yes, I remember you telling me
Yeah.
KFC sauce. Like, what's
Yeah.
that?
Exactly. KFC chicken sauce. Wow. I didn't try it though. I never tried it. I can't imagine eating sauce from KFC.
Oh,
Just,
sauce,
just- yeah, I can't see myself doing it.
that chicken foot. Here in Trinidad, if we're making chicken sauce, it's the chicken foot we call the scratchers, right?
Yeah.
It's boiled and you put the lime juice, sliced onions, cucumbers, peppers, and the culantro, which we call shadow benny or bandania.
Okay. I can't see myself eating chicken foot, Kim.
I don't like it. If I
Yeah.
have to myself, I use the chicken thighs.
Yeah.
But sauce is usually the foot of the pig
Mm.
or the foot of the chicken.
Yeah. 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 I can't eat chicken foot though. Pig feet, yeah, but chicken feet it just seems like, something not I would be interested in. My grandfather used to eat chicken feet all the time. I can do it, grandpa. Sorry.
Clean it properly though.
Hmm.
Cut the nails out. That part is chopped out. It's scrubbed, and they
Mm.
said it's also a good source of collagen. So all
Mm.
the women looking to be youthful and keep their skin looking young, chicken feet is full of collagen.
Mm.
That doesn't mean I'm going to eat it though. I'm still not
No,
eating.
absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
There's a term we use to call chicken feet here in Trinidad. It's called scratchers.
Scratches.
Because
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
I just think that's so gross. And so I'm repelled by it. I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah. It just looks unattractive to me, Why would I eat chicken feet? No, the sauce we do over here, we normally use the chicken wings more or less and the chicken breasts for the sauce. But more so the chicken wings. So we cut the chicken wings, we cut them in 3 parts if you have to. Even the little extra little piece of chicken wing, but with the wing tip, yeah, we use that for sauce as well too, but never the chicken feet. Only the real island people, the real out island rural people, they use chicken feet. But decent people, and they use a chicken wing.
I'll try for
Decent people.
I didn't think of using a chicken wing. I know it's a similar texture in the skin and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and the chicken thigh gives you that extra texture, right?
So I often use the chicken.
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't done that in a long time.
yeah. Sometimes the wings could dry. I use chicken thigh every now and then too, because sometimes the wings could get a bit dry. Doesn't give you that texture inside the water, the broth. So yeah, and use chicken thigh to give it that extra broth.
But that's your staple breakfast, chicken sauce. The KFC to have brought that out.
Yeah, sauce is a big thing here in the Bahamas. Actually, I have a sauce out ticket for tomorrow. I have to go pick up my
Okay.
church women's group. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to get though. Probably not chicken sauce. Probably get another sauce. Probably. Let's hope they have like sheep tongue sauce there.
You'll put like potatoes and carrot in it, not so.
Yeah, man. Not so much carrot, but definitely potatoes.
We don't. We only put the meat and the cucumbers,
Oh
onion.
wow.
That's it.
No, we don't use cucumbers at all. Cucumbers is a big thing here,
It is okay.
No, it isn't. It isn't a big thing here. Actually, when I walk in the subway and I see people putting cucumbers on the sandwich, I frown my face. How are you putting cucumbers on your sandwich? Nobody really does that.
And we put cucumbers in our doubles, and I absolutely hate that. Long in a salad,
Mm,
and I don't want salad as part of my doubles.
yeah. Tell him, Kim. You don't want salad with your doubles, Kim. Tell him with force. Say with base. I don't want no salad with my doubles, please.
Like Cucumbers for salad. I'm not having salad with my doubles. Oh
No,
yeah.
absolutely not. And no
Dou-
leave my food either, please.
Those are our go-to breakfast, and we have bake and something like yeah, we have like the floats, and it's usually like eggs and go salted
The
fish.
floats. What's a float?
I don't know. In Jamaica, I don't know if you're aware of their floats. It's like something like festival.
Oh
You
yeah.
know that,
I know, yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, yeah. Festivals.
and pull it with stuff.
Yeah, I heard of that, right?
That's our staple breakfast here in Trinidad. And no fast food outlet has attempted to do that here in Trinidad. Put that out as a breakfast. Come in and have breakfast with us.
Maybe that's something you should do, man. You think about it, Kim. Open your own bread and your own breakfast spot.
Well, I used to do catering on the side, so I did a little bit of it. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like fast food outlets, having it as a staple, opening that early, people
Mm,
often actually go for Subway breakfast. And yeah, so Subway is open for breakfast, and you can actually get a sandwich for breakfast. And
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. And then those soups they sell too. I got so sick from one of those soups one
We don't
time.
have that yet. Subway just sells sandwiches and salads.
Okay, yeah. Thank God, because the soups will kill you, man. The soups are absolutely rancid and they make you sick.
Right.
You know, I had the cheddar with broccoli one time. I had to go to the doctor, man. It was that bad. It was that bad, Kim. Made me sick. I was throwing up and all day, and I was weak and I was woozy. Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore, Kim. Yeah. Those Subway soups are absolutely rancid. They're terrible.
But the Subway breakfast is usually a long line because you get like a deli sandwich with egg and your meats and you know
Mm.
that's how Trinis like their tell you that. I'm
Yeah.
one of I enjoy my heavy breakfast. I yes, I'm up for my pancakes and eggs and things like that. I
Oh, I
grew up
forget. You grew up on what?
with my dad making pancakes for me, so that's something I've learned. Hey, that's
Yeah.
breakfast.
Okay, that's cool. But I forgot the other breakfast thing. Yeah, we like corned beef and grits and tuna and grits. That's
Tuna.
big breakfast. Yeah, tuna and grits and corned beef and grits. Yeah, that's a big and mackerel and grits. Yep.
That's
Those are the three.
I've always been curious about it, and you know, until I went abroad, and yeah, it's that kind of cornmeal something they make.
You know, you never eat grits before, Kim? Stop saying it. Oh, Kim, come on, man. You've never had grits.
In Trinidad, grits is something that you all have, you know, transferred from the southern parts of America, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, yellow grits and white grits. Yeah.
we don't have that here.
Wow. That's amazing, Kim. You know, guys don't have grits.
I'm
Wow.
curious about it though.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you some yellow grits when I have a chance, man. Some real hominy. Yeah. And it's not fattening either, you know, because you know grits is really corn and really just goes straight through you. So it
Yeah.
doesn't stick to you. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Cornmeal here, we usually make like cornmeal porridges, and we have our oatmeal porridges for breakfast.
Now
If
that's one thing I want to know. Is a porridge sweet or is a porridge salty?
you can make it a bit, it's mostly sweet, but you put a pinch of salt, so you do get the salt and the sweet.
Okay. Okay, porridge. I've never had porridge before.
And we usually season it with like clove and cinnamon and things like that.
Okay. So porridge is like cream of wheat then.
You
Or
can't
oats?
have cream of wheat, and we actually make a porridge with cornmeal, the yellow cornmeal.
Okay. Okay.
As well, people have oats. That's part of the healthy part of it.
Yeah.
To cholesterol, so you have oats. On board.
Oatmeal. Yep. Yeah. But Kim, we're winding down to the end, man. It's 9:28. We had a good chat tonight, man. How you
Yeah.
feeling? Man? You feel better?
On Monday we have Labor Day here in Trinidad.
Oh, holiday.
Monday is Father's Day.
Yes, we didn't say anything about Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Ram Calawan, Kim.
Yes, happy Father's Day to my dad. We already have our menu planned out for him and what we're going. He's already made his requests known to us what we're doing. Problem with fulfilling that as best as I can.
That's good. All the girls should gather around your father, man. He's been a good father to you guys.
Yes. We usually try to do it. I wanted a break and I was like, okay, let's go to a restaurant instead. But home and you have an abundance of food for the next.
Yes, that sounds good. Because I think at his age, he probably just wants to be with his loved ones, All the big splash and pump and pageantry isn't really for him, right?
Yeah, because I was thinking about we never really celebrated all my uncles with us, right?
Hmm.
And we've never really done anything like, hey, let's include all the guys. And
Hmm.
I was thinking about doing that, but relatives they're busy. Some have exams are going on for a good bit of my cousins right now, so we couldn't do it.
Okay.
Just to celebrate all my uncles, all the men in our lives.
That's good.
For them.
So much you love. Well, I want to say rest in peace to my father, Mr. Gary Philip Camp Sr. He passed away about 30 years ago now. So I know he's watching down for me. I dream about him every now and then. So I know he's watching down, on me. And he's in a happier place. So, I just say happy Father's Day, Dad, even though he passed away. And I'll tell you, all the other fathers out there, happy Father's Day to you. And please spend your time wisely with your family and with your loved ones and love your kids a bit more. So, Kim, that takes us to the end of the show. That's it, Anything else you want to say aside from happy Father's Day?
That's it. Happy Father's Day to all the gentlemen across the entire Caribbean.
Yes.
And
Happy
thanks.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day from LimeVibe. And please, if you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook video, please. LimeVibe 77, that's LimeVibe 77 to our Facebook and YouTube page. Please like, share, and subscribe to these videos. It really helps us out a lot. And also, you will see in the description a donate link. So please, whatever's in your heart to give us to help us keep the show going, please donate to us. That would be a great help to us, please. So this is Yori Camp signing off again for another LimeVibe live podcast. Good night, along with my co-host, Miss Kimberly Ramkalawan.
Good night.
Let's get out of here, Kim. It was a good show tonight, Kim. Very good show.